মানে এখানটা কি ভালো লাগতো? মাছের ঝোলটা তো চাপ হয়ে যাবে। আজকে সেটা মধ্যে মধ্যে আঁকতে হবে। আঁকা কি খাতাগুলো ঢুকে যায় কি সেখানে? কোন সাইলেন্ট ফন্ট? পেন so let's let me go fine. So if I have calculations, let's say I have my calculations, fine. ওটা আমি বন্ধই করে দিয়েছি, জমিয়ে দিয়েছি, ধর একটু পরে দিচ্ছি। অনেক কাপড় জামা পরে আছে, কিছু অসুবিধা নেই তো, সরিয়ে দেবো একটু। ডাক্তার ব্যাটা সবাই ইন্টারভিউ গ্রুপ লিডার গাছটা দেখতে হয় আর ওই মেয়েটার ওই চক্রটা। তুই টুকটুক করে যেমন তো করিস, এক্সপার্টলি করবি ওই ব্যাপারগুলো। আমি আমার দিক থেকে বেস্ট অ্যাঙ্গুলারটা করেছি, যতটা পারা যায় বলার চেষ্টা করবো। শোন না বুবলি, জাভাস্ক্রিপ্টে প্রোগ্রাম লিখলে তুই যেমন করে সাপোর্ট দিচ্ছিলি সেই টুকটুক করে দেখিয়ে দিবি। যদি অ্যাঙ্গুলার 16-এর ওপর কোনো নতুন ফিচার্স চাই তখন চ্যাটজিপিটি করে ব্রাউজার সিলেক্ট করে সার্চ করতে হবে, কারণ ওরা কাট অফ নলেজের পরে এসেছে। আর কি করছিস বল? আর এমনি যেমন কল, প্রোগ্রাম, বাইন্ড এসব যদি বলে, হ্যাঁ, জাভাস্ক্রিপ্টের এক্সিকিউশন কনটেক্সটে যদি বলে প্রোগ্রাম লিখে বোঝো এটা আউটপুট কি হবে না হবে, এগুলো বলতে পারে যে এটা করো, এটা অ্যালগোরিদম দিচ্ছি করো। জাভাস্ক্রিপ্টে তখন জাস্ট ছোটো ছোটো কোডিং করে করে বার করে দিবি। আমি বেসিক্যালি নোড অ্যাঙ্গুলারের প্রজেক্টটাকে বেশি এমফাসাইজ করবো এখানে, ইউনিট টেস্টিংটাকে জোর দেবো। আর কালকে ইউনিট টেস্টিংটা পড়িয়েওছি, এত আমার তাজা মনে আছে। হ্যালো, yeah, fine, please tell me. Yeah, I'm ready, I'm waiting for that. I'm just waiting in the team links, I'll just join at 12 o'clock. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
তাও ভদ্র আছে
কমে এলেও তো খেপা চোদা নেই।
ভাই, ইন্টুইটের মতো খেপাই
ইন্টারভিউ তো কল করে ভাই অনেকবার মেসেজ ভাই,
কবে যেন
তো বারোটা ইন্টারভিউ তার আগে কল করেছে।
কবে আমি কল করলাম ওরা
বলেই গেছে
ক্যান্সেল হয়ে গেছিল,
মিটিংটা ক্যান্সেলই হয়ে গেছিল।
ও মা, মনে নেই প্রথম দিন যে তোমার
না 12টার সময় যেটা আগের দিনে মিটিং হলো, দশটা থেকে
আগের দিনের যেটা মিটিং হলো সেটা খালি ফোন করেছিল, যেহেতু বড় লেভেলের লোকেরা ছিল।
ওরা আসবে, জলে চলে যাবে।
আমি একবার এই গুগলের ইন্টারভিউটাকে করে একটা কোয়েশ্চেন আছে, ওই ভিডিওগুলো দেখছিলাম তো, ভিডিওগুলো থেকে জানতে পারলাম একটা কোয়েশ্চেন আস্ক করে নেওয়া উচিত যে ফার্স্ট নামটা টেলিফোনিক হবে কি,
হ্যাঁ
করে বলছি একটা কাজ করো না, এই জায়গায়
শরীরে শরীরে তুমি চলে যানি, চলে আস্তে আস্তে আমি একটু জায়গা নিই না, আর ঘোরাফেরা না।
জায়গা নিয়ে যাওয়ার জন্য না, আমি তো বসে দেখা।
হ্যালো, yes, yeah, Arghya, telling, please tell me. Yeah, please tell me. Yeah, I am, and currently I have an interview at 12 o'clock. Can we call after 1? I'll save this number. Yeah, yes. Mm-hmm. I am full stack developer only. I'm more interested. DevOps is also my additional skills. So full stack development, I am considering Angular or React, something in the front end or any other things as a part of that. And backend, backend I am more comfortable in Node.js and other things. Not that much fluent in Java, but do have hands-on knowledge already. I worked 1-2 years in Java also, Spring Boot, microservices and other things. Yeah, I'll save this number. I'll connect you after 1. Yeah, thank you. Services. Well, and then coming.
কে হ্যাঁ তোমার
এভাবে বসি নাকি?
হ্যাঁ, আমি বলে যাচ্ছি, তুমি দেখতে পাবে? তুমি একটু বেশি বেগে গেছো।
হ্যাঁ, এটাতে বেটার হচ্ছে অ্যাকচুয়ালি।
রোজ এই জায়গাটা সেম বলতে হয়।
তো বলতে হয় কি করবো।
না, ওটা আমি
Yeah, Arghya.
Hi Ashani, good morning, how are you?
I'm good, good. Thanks. So my technical panel will be here in a minute.
Yeah,
Okay, then we
yeah,
will
sure,
start.
sure, sure. Hello,
Hi,
Sasan.
Shashank.
Hi, Arghya.
How are
Hi,
you?
Ashwani.
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks for
You
asking.
good?
How are
How are
you?
you? Can't
Uh,
hear you, Arghya.
yes, Arghya, you are on mute. You can unmute
Okay.
yourself.
Oh, I'm really sorry, Sasank. Yeah, am I
No
audible
worries.
now?
Yes, yes, you
Yes.
are
Yeah,
audible.
great.
So Arghya, please meet Shashank. Shashank is our technical panel, and he will be taking a discussion with you.
Yeah,
Shashank, please meet Arghya.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Ashwani.
Thank you. So, with all your permission, I will be recording this session. Shashank, you can take the discussion ahead. All the best for you.
yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Arghya. Can you just give a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, last 7.9 years, I'm working extensively on full stack development that includes Angular or React in the front end. Majorly worked with Angular only, and on top of that, I have been working with in the backend as a node to create the APIs, communicate with the database and other things using MongoDB or some PostgreSQL or SQL or some like other database and all those things. Parallelly, I do have experience in the DevOps knowledge also, like Docker or Kubernetes, creating pods for different projects and deploy those things using Argo workflow, creating Jenkins and like create the pipeline for those things. So have experience using Ionic and Cordova also, where I had to create mobile applications using Angular app also. And parallelly, I do have experience in chatbot application as well. So this is majorly my skill sets, but I am a front end developer, you can say, who has converted to a
Okay.
full stack using Node and other things. Yes, please tell me.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Do you have experience on Angular JS as well?
Yes, the thing is, the year 2015, I joined TCS. That time, I was trained on Angular JS, so I had been part of Angular JS implementation for around 2 years, initial year of my career. So, but
Okay.
now it is not having support and all those things. So everyone is migrating to the latest versions. Like we have done the similar exercise in our recent projects as well. That was written long back in Angular JS. We had migrated it to Angular 14 recently.
Okay.
Yes.
And if you get a chance to work in Angular JS, how comfortable do you feel yourself?
See, the thing is, I am comfortable in working Angular JS as well, but my question to you is that where there is no support on Angular JS, why we will be choosing Angular JS for a crash development? Definitely, we need to move to
No,
that.
it's yeah, that is there. That is, I agree totally with you.
Yeah,
Its only thing is it's a legacy application which is built in Angular JS.
old
So
application.
definitely we would uh, want to have some support on that, and also if a new
Migration
feature is
plus
required.
existing support. Got it. Got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
but
the
at the
purpose.
same time, definitely there's a scope for React as well,
Yeah,
parallelly.
yeah, that's fine. Like, see, if something is there to give us give support on the existing things and also that is fine. But I'll be definitely not interested only in Angular JS. I need to work on it. If there is some migration works along with that or new enhancement work, because I love development, so I love new things. So that will be my priority.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And do you have experience in like writing test cases as well?
Yeah, extensively I have wrote test cases using Angular JS also and Angular also. Like basically we have used Jasmine framework and Karma as a test runner for these testings
Okay.
and all those things. Even some projects we have used Protector also for testing
Okay.
and all those things. We used test bads as well for like integration testings, and use storybooks like Sidecar, okay, for those integration testings. Like, yeah, I have very good experience on unit testing.
Okay. And can you explain a little, like, what is the current project, what you're working, a little more insight on that?
Yeah, so this is a like currently working for a client called like Thrive, you can say. So here it is a newspaper and publishing media. So we need to
Okay.
create, and the enhancement from the scratch only we have started creating. So here we create multiple orders in the Salesforce API first, in the Salesforce first. Then from the Salesforce things migrate to our applications, and every users like using single sign-on authentications gets logged into our Angular applications. Or they can see their orders, they can modify the orders. There are multiple parts of modifications. Some things happens in the Salesforce, some extra things happens in our applications. So after things are done, we directly connect to the node and MongoDB. Over there, we store the data, and there are some different third-party calls also, and those things happens. And yes, there are some bad jobs also we have written for our projects that takes care about moving few things or removing few data that is not needed from the tables and all those things. If you would like to explain more details, I will be happy to share my screen and draw a few things. Can I?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So just a quick, you let me know if you can see my screen.
Not it.
Not yet, huh? Wait.
Yeah, in the meantime, you mentioned you're communicating with the third party
Yes,
APIs,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So, how is that done actually?
So see, like there are different third-party systems. Means, say, for example, I need to connect with a Microsoft GraphQL server to get the from the manager ID to get the manager name and email ID. Okay. So, for example, I
Mhm.
am here in my Angular applications, and so I make HTTP request to them and get the response, and then get it in my Angular applications. So there are multiple third parties we can connect with them. So exactly what you are looking for, if you tell me, I'll explain in details.
Means where are you actually communicating to third party APIs? Is it from the backend? Is it from the front end
No, no, that
directly?
happens both places. I have worked in both the places. It generally, like if let's say there is a requirement to send emails, okay, to the managers, and you have only the email ID, not email ID, the manager ID. Let's say A012 is the manager ID you have. Now you need to get the
Okay.
email corresponding to this ID and then send the email, okay, trigger the email functionality. So if I talk about backend, what I do in Node, recently I have done a job. I wrote a job like that. So I call the third-party API from here, the Graph Client API, and then get the data against this ID. Okay, and then against that I get the email ID, and then trigger the Node email alert service to send the things. Similar way, we can do it in the like front end also. If required some data, we get it from our own database. Some of the data we don't get. Like as I mentioned, Salesforce, right? We need to get few
Mhm.
things from the Salesforce to our application. There is integrations, Salesforce and our application. So that times we directly connect to them and get the data. There is some cross things we allow it first, like cross origin, resource sharing. We need to make it star or give a specific domain name to this so that our application will allow. They only need to set it up in their environment. Then only we can bind this bridge and communicate. I hope I have answered
Okay.
your question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, coming to the
So, what are the
application
security mechanisms
security.
you're actually?
Security means, see, primarily we are using JWT here, as I mentioned, as a
Okay.
service authentication. So how it works is like, see, this is your, let's say, sign up form or whatever it is, user ID or password you are typing and trying to log in. So on the first, you hit slash login API. So what happens is that, let's say user ID is ABC and password is 123. So it will so in this mechanism, what will happen is that we'll pass the user ID and the password. Even we do a first level of A to B encryptions over here, okay, first level of encryption, so that we don't pass that also into direct raw password to the backend. So after that, it will go to the backend, and over there we have a secret key over here, okay. Secret key means some hashing key, you can say, in our application, some unique secret key that we store in the hash corp, okay. So using that, after one level of encoding, we do a second level of encoding over here also. Like we do a encoding, and that password becomes something else, like some encoded password it will become. So that will go to the
Okay.
backend and will store in the DB, okay. And then we'll call the authenticate API and generate a token, and we give a expiry time to it, let's say 8 hours or some particular time we give it to it, okay. And then we return the token to that, like that authentication, that token that we created, that token will come from the backend to the front end, okay. And again, we create two tokens. One is that authentication token and the refresh token, okay. So that comes to the front end, and we store it in the local storage, for examples. And we have our interceptors in our Angular. In the subsequent API calls, we pass that token to authenticate it. Like that way, we make our API secure. And yes, and like once you are logged out, we regenerate the token. After the time expires, we regenerate the token. And again, in the backend also, to check if someone is successfully logged in or not, we're using the same hash that I have shared. Using that hash to decrypt that also, decrypt the password to get the same password. Like that way, we ensure that password is also not disclosed to anyone, even developers, and we are maintaining it securely. That is one aspect of the security we are using. And apart from that, we are using lots of like XSS vulnerability checks in our applications, ROSF check. These all things we are integrating in our application. We check like if some places we are writing script or any injection happens in the template, we do a little checking on top of that. So these are the primarily, this is the way we made this
Okay.
application
You
secure.
mentioned you're saving it in local storage, right?
Yeah, this
Is there
token.
any particular reason the tokens? Because anyone can access. Say you are telling you have 8 hours of validity for that token, right?
Correct,
So
correct,
in that
correct.
meantime, if I access that token or if I get hold of that token, and I can start using the APIs, right?
You cannot start because it is strictly like cross dependent to our application. Yeah, I am coming to that, but generally no one cannot access because it is given access to this domain only. Okay, so from this
Yeah,
domain
but
only.
I'm accessing, say for example, whatever the endpoints, whatever you're pointing to, I'll start accessing it via Postman. So it
Yeah,
should
yeah. If
allow,
you
right?
try accessing it via Postman, you can access it. So one way is local storage, we can store it, and the other thing is session storage. Also, you can keep it in your things. Or so here, what will happen once you will close the session, you will close it. So that time it will be not available with you, and you cannot copy this. Okay, so another good thing we can implement over here is don't store it here directly. Take it and store it in the HashiCorp or some cloud, and get it access from there and use it. That will be a concrete mechanisms of establishing these JWT connections, like the way we store the config files in the HashiCorp vault, the cloud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm, fine, Arghya.
Yes.
Can you tell me, like, if I have to ask you, like, how much will you rate yourself on JavaScript on the scale of 10?
JavaScript I will rate 8, 8.5.
Okay. How about TypeScript?
Yeah, it is also around 8.
Okay. Okay, we'll start with JavaScript, Arghya. Can you tell me, like, what is the difference between for in and for off?
Yeah, so for off you have the like just like if you write for off, you just able to access the values. Okay, for off, like for car of cars, and you just print
Mhm.
console log car, then you will get just the access of all the car available, but don't have the access to the index. Okay, that is point number one. Second thing is for in, you have the index access. Okay, so better way of writing things, but I have the index access also over here. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hmm. Can you tell me like the difference between a spread operator and a rest parameter?
Yeah. Like spread operators means, like, let's say you have an array or something, and then you are trying to spread it over spread the values over the other things. Like, let's say we use the dot 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 syntax, right? Let's say I have an array, and can I let
Yeah.
me just
Instead of paint, can you just use this link which I've shared?
I'm using it here. Is it fine? Just typing something.
This should also be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me give an example instead of paint. So let's say let arr one, I have an array, one,
Mhm.
two, three, something I have, and I want to create another array. Let's say arr two, and what I want, arr two, I want existing content of arr one also. So arr one, and then I want to add four, five, six. Let's say just an example I'm giving. Okay.
Okay.
So in this case, what will happen? So 1 minute. With triple dot. Okay. So in this case, what will happen? That it will be error two will be now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I
Okay.
console log, I'm not doing
Yeah,
it.
fine. How about rest?
Yeah. So rest, what will happen is that once you are passing some parameter to a functions, right? Generally, we need to know like how many parameters we want to pass, one or two. Depending on that, we need to write the functions. But let's say we want to pass infinite number of parameters. That
Mhm.
time you pick up the number of things you want a b inside the functions, and rest you can write function example, for example, like a b, and then the rest you want to keep it in some numbers, let's say, like
Okay.
that way. Okay. So, and so now you once you are calling these functions, so you can pass, let's say, five arguments, four, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Let's say you are passing like this. So four and four will be copied into a b, and rest all will be copied into the numbers. Earlier in
Okay.
ES5, we had an alternatives of arguments also. So over there, we used to handle these things. We used to run a loop and check some of all numbers. Let's say you want to write. So you used to check, but it is a better way to handle it because it takes as an array, and we can use those array methods like
Okay.
map, filters, all those things. So that's the advantage for us.
Yeah. In the
Uh,
link which I shared, right, I've just typed an example. Can you just tell me what will be the output for that?
you typed an example. What a minute.
Yeah.
Just there. Dot 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 inside third bracket. Dot 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 JavaScript inside first bracket.
Yeah. So
Ah,
if you console that, what will be the output?
okay. So that means I need to write. I'm not printing it. Just I'm telling. So console.log, and if I write
No,
like
you can
this,
just, yeah, you can just tell me what is the output over there also. It's the same actually.
yeah, yeah. So that means dot dot dot. Then inside first bracket JavaScript. What will be the output of this? Okay. So if we
Yes.
join something with that, so by default I have object. So let me think. If I just do dot 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 and then JavaScript in a string, so it will append object. By default it is in the global scope. So the object JavaScript it will print looks like. What will happen? So the global scope I have an object. It's just a minute. So JavaScript it will be object. I hope it's object JavaScript. Okay. Print JavaScript. So it will be spreaded like this way. Okay. J A V A like this, JavaScript like this, one by one. Like we are using spread operator here. So that this will treat these strings as an individual characters. Okay, like J1, A1, V1 like this way, like comma
Okay.
separated way. Is that
Okay.
correct?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, yeah, that one.
Mm, and can you tell me what is destructuring?
Yeah. So destructuring is another way of like assigning the variables also that recently introduced in ES6 in the JavaScript. So like earlier days we used to assign, let me give an example to better explain you. Like let's have another array, array equal to 1, 2, 3, and now let's say I want to assign 1 into A, 2 into B, and 3 into C, these three variables. So what I can do simply, let A, B, C equal to error. So earlier what we used to do, let A equal to error 0, error B equal to error 1, like that way, right? So this is the structure, you can say console
Okay.
dot log.
How about can you what will be how it will behave in the objects?
Yeah, object destructuring is also possible. Like generally what we used to do, like in the same way, if we write for the object, let obj equal to, let's say we have a key value pair, let's say x equal to 1, y equal to 2, and let's say z equal to 3. Z key value pair, we store it, okay, and x colon 1, y colon, okay. Now if we want to destructure it, let's say let, like array we are using this structuring like this, x y z. 1 minute, let x comma y comma z, and we can just directly write the obj. Okay. And if you console log these things a b, like this object x y z, it will output 1 2 3. Okay,
Okay.
this is the way we do distance. We can do nested also. Let's say address is there, inside address we have city, we will do 2 level of
Yeah.
destructuring like that way. X,
Okay.
yes.
So I've typed a, definition over there. Not definition. I would say a method basically. Can you tell me like what is that a method, a genuine method?
Multiply 4 inside bracket 4, inside bracket 5. Multiply
Hmm.
is not a default method, I believe. Multiply
No, it's
4.
not about a
Oh,
method.
so
It's not
yeah,
about
it is.
default method or something like that.
It's not a
But
default
I'm
method.
just asking, is it a valid method?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, we can do it using closure. Let's say we have an inner function and inside outer function, then we have an inner function. So we can call multiply 4. Let's say passing, it will call a function that will return a function. That function's parameter will be 5. So in that way, we can treat it as a it is good, not a bad syntax if we have proper implementation of it.
Okay. Can you tell me what are callback functions?
Callback function. So like say when we have any functions, when any function is passed as an argument, you can say, to another function. So the function which is passed as an argument, that particular function is called the callback functions. Okay, and the function which is accepting it, that is called the higher order functions. So to give an example, if you want, I can write a code also. Let's say function greetings or whatever it is. Okay, great, let's say. So that will accept a callback, for example. Okay, I'll define this callback after some time. So let's say I'm doing console log hi. Okay, and after I'm done with my hi printing, I'll call this callback function. I'll pass this, I'll generate this callback function. So now let's say let me generate this another function. Let's say function, let's say some name. Let's say you want to create something, and you just write my name. Let's say console.log. Okay. So I have a function name which is console logging my name. I have a function greet which accepts a function and then they append hi inside it. Now let's say you greet this function with name. So I'm passing a function, you see. I'm passing a function which is passed here actually. So it will output hi and then it will output name. Okay, some mistakes I'm doing. So function greet, I'm writing callback functions, console log hi, and then I'm calling the callback function. Fine. Another function I'm writing name and what the console of this. So greet, I'm passing the function this. So this should print hi Arghya actually. Okay, so
Okay.
this is the way to implement callback. Enter this function is coming to this, okay, and that is printing
Yeah,
after
fine.
hello.
In a real-time scenario, can you tell me like
Hmm.
how, where have you utilized in your project?
Yeah, so like let's say we are dealing with asynchronous calls, okay, real time. So there I need to first wait for an operation to be complete, then do something. Let's make a API call, get the data. Once you get the data, then make convert it to the JSONs, okay. So that time we write callback inside callback. So that is not a good practice. It becomes we become it creates a callback hell kind of scenario, okay. So we have better approaches like async await, promises, all those things we use that. So you can we even JavaScript also lots of event handlers also use normal JavaScript I'm talking about. So there we use that. Generally used for fetching data from a server only. Anyone can use this. Even you call normal HTTP fetch call, okay? Then there is two callback. One is success callback, one is error callback. Dot then we write dot then dot error. So two we write two syntax, right? So dot catch we write the error. So those are some general cases for using callbacks. Even set timeouts also you can say like we write callbacks to pass a callback function. Then after a certain amount of milliseconds of time we trigger something. Those are the things.
Okay. Okay. In the link, right? Can you open that code share link? Yeah.
Constant string equal to JavaScript is great language. Constant str equal to
So what I
JavaScript.
want you to do here is like get the count of each letter.
Get the count of each letter. Okay,
Yes,
JavaScript is
in
a
that
great
string.
language.
How many times the occurrence of that particular letter is there in the given string?
Got it. I have given a sentence. Constant string equal to JavaScript is a great language. And I need to come up with an like J two times, A two times, or one times like
Correct.
that, and an object key value pair I need to print, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, got it. Okay. So we write a functions over here. So let's say constant string equal to let's have it here. JavaScript is a great language. And const letter counts. Let's say letter counts equal counts. Okay, what can I do? Equal to 0. And then I'll go for the length. String dot length. Plus plus. Okay. And drops the array. And I'll keep on adding a letter equal to every starting of that string, right? And your I pick up the first letter and then I'll check if I have the letter count and I have this particular letter. If I have it, then I need to increase this. Then letter counts equal to letter counts and the letter will increase. Okay. So if I have the letter, I'll pick up the letter first and then I'll check if the letter counts. I have the letter and then I'll do letter count and what is the letter. But if I don't have, then what I'll do, it will be a 1. So letter count, usually it is a 1 the first time. So first time it will come to the else. So I'll do letter counts equal to 1. Okay, so then it is completed and then if I console log, the object will be formed. Console log the letter counts, the object if I console, let's see how it works. I think it is
Can we ignore the empty spaces?
Ignore the empty spaces. Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
Then I need to slice it with space. I mean, you want to remove that this space and
It's up to you. Yeah. Basically, it's counting the spaces as well,
it's
right?
counting the spaces
And
also, right? Okay, okay, okay. So I can slice join the array with space. Then in that case, okay. So what can I do? Mm, I can use a prefix library do. Okay, let me use a regex over here. So let's say const modified string str1. That's a modified string str str1 str1. Let's say giving it and str equal to I can do str1 dot replace. I can use a syntax. I'm not remembering something globally. I'll search and I'll check for all the spaces. So if it is my string, I'm doing a string dot replace and then I'm printing this. Okay. Yeah, it's done. So I'm using a regex here actually. So that globally searching that and remove the spaces.
okay.
We can use different ways. Just I got it in my mind, so I just did it.
Okay. Now, can you write a test case for the same? Don't delete it. Keep this converted as a function or something like that. And
Okay, okay. So you
can
want
you
me?
write a test case?
Okay, okay, okay. Test case. I mean, using Jasmine structure,
Yep. You
Mukhachai,
can.
or normal Node.js testing. You are telling, right? This function to test it.
Yeah. Means normal. The Jasmine, whatever you normally write test cases, right? Same thing.
So in
You
that
can
case, let's
just.
assume that it is inside a function. Function something function something count letter something is there. Count letters, and I will pass the string and I will have the entire method. So at the end, I'll return letter counts. Okay. So instead of that, return letter counts. I'm going to copy it. Right? Letter counts. Okay. Okay. So let's understand this a little later. So in this case, if I need to write a test case first, I will use describe, and in the Jasmine way only I need to write the test cases, right?
Yeah.
Describe. It will not run it here, but I'm just trying to
Yeah,
explain.
yeah, definitely. That's totally fine.
Describe, run, test, count letters. Count letters. Let's say test count letters and it. Each and every test cases I need to write. No, I need to pass a function here. So let's say describe. It will. But I need to pass a callback function here. Test parameters, and then function. I can pass a callback function here, and here inside every callback function I will write the it. Okay, I will write it. Let's say it is condition. Let's say count letters. Count letters in, let's say your string is hello. Okay, so in that time what will happen, it will also have a function if will also have a function, so it will have what it is expecting. I need to call this method count normal letters, count letters, expecting arguments. I'll pass the arguments hello, and it will be equal to what? Expect equal to 2 equal to 2 equal to it will be equal to structure is right. H is how many times? H E L L O. H is 1 times. H is 1 times. Then E is H E L L O. E is also 1 times. L 2 times. L 2 times. L 2 times. Then O. O is 1 times. Okay. So I'll be expecting this to be equal to this. H E L L O. Okay. This is expect hello to be equal to this. Okay. This is one thing. Similar way. So similar way, we can write an empty string also for this. One condition will be this, to cover all the checks. Like let's say empty check. Empty check. So empty check, what I will do? I will pass nothing in this. I will pass nothing in this, and it will be equal to a blank object. It will be equal to a blank object. It will be a bracket. It will be a bracket. In this case, it will be a blank object. And again, what can I do? So, and again, we can give the big input, and we can write the test cases for that also. So this
Okay.
is some of the ways. Like, see, we have Jasmine global functions like describe that defines the test suite for us. So this is the test suite for us, and it has multiple branches we need to check, right? All possible scenarios. Like as of now, I just found two ways. One is pass hello. We can pass this entire string also JavaScript. Then we need to write lots of conditions like that. So and there are lots of matchers: to equal, to be, to not equal, to be, not to be. And then we can define all the cases like that. There are different scenarios. So with that you can do real time. We can
Okay.
sometimes use f describe also, f it also to give priority to it or to disable it. We have lots of test cases like that. Or we just syntactically it is correct only, but some of the places it's don't know why it's complaining. But this is the way generally we write. It's not understanding, expect, and all those things.
Okay. Can you tell me what is the difference between before each and after each?
Before each and after is right. So
Yes.
let's say these test cases, okay, before each, before every it is executed, it will be called. Before every it is executed, when one test case is executed, after each will be called. And before all and after all, these are the global functions that will be called one times. Before everything, every test cases are executed, before all will be called one times. Let's say some API value initializations or something will happen, or something we need to do one time, or at the end you are using observables or something, then you remove all the just detaching that memory for the memory location. Then after all, I hope I have answered. Before each and after each, after every it is constant, before and after will be called, and before all and after all, one times. Before every it and at the end of every it.
Okay. And what is the use case of create spy?
Create
Spy.
spy.
Can you just paste this code, whatever you've written in that code share?
Okay. Create spy. Answer code share is sign up, closing it.
No, you can just refresh. Yeah, it should work.
Yeah.
You just refresh, it should be fine. Yeah.
I just pasted it, right? Yeah, I just pasted
Yes.
it. So this is the test case. So I
Okay.
moved that
Can you?
thing, okay, initially what I wrote that thing, that is
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, please
How
tell me.
about create spy? Can you just me? Can you tell me like what is the use case of create spy?
Yes, like use case.
No, not spike. Spy. Create spy.
Type it in the code, sir.
Okay. Here's the link.
Yes, type.
Hope you can see.
I'm refreshing it. I'm not yet to see it. Yeah, CREATESPY create spy use case.
Yeah.
Okay, create spy use case in JavaScript. You are saying in testing. You are saying.
Yes. Yes.
So it's I have not worked on it, but yes, I know the concept for this actually. Generally, creates by some like what it do, like testing if a function is called or not. Okay, this kind of things we check. For example, okay, so that time we write jasmine dot create spy and check other functions. Okay, so it's also like just to check if a function is called, okay, that we are expecting or not. Okay, like some other function, let's say you need to call from your eat, let's say you want to call another other functions. Okay, so we can store like
Okay.
let other function equal to jasmine dot create spy, and we can write the other functions whatever it is, and then you can pass that things also that like that way. Or if you want
Okay.
to check that function is called with right arguments or not. Okay, so that time it could be useful. Not extensively I have used it, but I just know the concept.
Okay. So you would have definitely worked with APIs. So
Yes,
in
a
that
lot.
scenario, how are you writing test cases
Yeah, Mocha
for an
and
API?
Chai. We used Mocha and Chai for the node, but I have also worked with Jasmine also, initializing Jasmine, installing it the outer level than inside the project level. Because this syntax I'm more familiar to this, but better node goes better with Mocha and Chai.
No, in with respect to Angular, how will you do it? Say, for example, you have an X API, which is, say, for example,
API testing
fetching the
using
list of
Jasmine and
employees.
Angular. Got it, got it.
Sorry?
If, like you want to see the one API, we are API testing in the Angular level, right? Like the
That's
response
correct.
you are getting
Correct.
properly or not. That you mean to say, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we need to mock the dummy response, like whatever the key value
Uh,
pairs we have, and then we need to run these test cases and check one by one. Like we
yeah.
just
How will you
create.
mock? Means what? Can you just write a one mock for
Trying to write.
an employee? Say, for example.
You're just trying to write something, not remembering the syntax that much. Uh, so let's say, so like inside the test also, uh, we need to write test cases. So we can use test bed also, for example, for implementing this testing. Okay. For example, we are importing test bed, for example, as I mentioned, test bed from. It is available inside Angular testing library. Angular stats. Angular core most probably. Angular core, then some name I forgot. Some testing or some test or some name is there. Okay. So it will be available from here. Uh, okay. And okay. And then we need the like I'm assuming that I need to work with HTTP and other things, right? So HTTP client, some test module, let's say HTTP test, some required modules, whatever is there. So just importing those things.
No, you
And
can ignore these
I'm
imports
ignoring
and all.
this whole
That's
thing.
fine.
Okay, I'm just coming directly to the test place, or just to explain that how we can do. Yeah, assuming that other things are done. So let's say we describe some data service we are testing. Let's say data service we are testing, and we will call a callback function. We'll call a callback function. Over there, let's say I have some service on each. I will write some before each, and so So generally we will write the before each over here, okay, and
Okay.
before each, and we need to initialize few things like all the imports and providers, okay, like before each, and we will call the callback functions. And I'm expecting that if you're using test bed, let's say, so test bed is having some configurable testing modules by itself. Config test module, config test, forgot the name. Uh, that module we need to initialize, and inside that we need to initialize the testing, simulate the testing environment, like imports, whatever the things I need for the app. Here I need to
Mhm.
HTTP testing modules or whatever other things I need, I will import. Whatever the providers are there for the applications, those things I'll bring it over here. And then we'll start the test executions over here. So we need to test bed dot inject, we need to do, to inject that data service. So it is, we will do that. And then these things are done. And let's say we are writing simple test cases. Some data will be there, okay. Let's say fetch data.
Hello. Yeah.
Here I'll do the dummy data mockup, okay. On dummy,
Okay.
like whatever the dummy data mockup you have, then you will write down, you have already done the service and other installation, right, inside this test bed I was mentioning, right. So there you will call service.fetchData.subscribe, and then we'll check the data that I'm expecting is equal to the dummy data or not. Here I'll write the dummy data. I hope I have explained you properly. So let's say this data is having some key value pair or whatever it is, okay. Key and value, some pair is there. So, and here after this thing is done, so we can call in this it only. We'll call the service.fetchData.subscribe and expect data to be equal to the dummy data. Okay, that is one scenario I explained. And then we need to
Okay.
call HTTP mock dot expect one, and we can give our URL and check that it is to be get or post, whatever it is, request dot method or whatever it is. And then you can also use flash and other methods to provide the dummy data, so to the
Okay.
response, okay, with that
Okay.
response.
Okay. Okay. Mhm. So in the code which you had written earlier, right, you had used the traditional for loop. So do you think that's a better approach?
That for I equal to 0 length and I plus plus,
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
you can use for in also, not a problem here.
Which one do you prefer? Like in for this kind of a scenario,
Hmm.
which is better?
Instead of for I, so every time if I write for in, so vectors, in terms of time complexity, you are saying which is better, or normal execution context, or is which one is better? You are asking.
Basically, the way this for loop works and based on the working of that and how it actually internally works, those things keeping in your mind, right? Which one
Yeah.
do you prefer?
For in itself is good, I believe. Syntactically, it is also, I mean, good and designed to like loop the
How about
objects.
for each then?
For each also another things for handling modern way of writing this.
How about map?
Map also internally uses a map also. It's a data structures in JavaScript. Like we can write map also. Uh,
How about reduce then?
Reduce is another things there. We can achieve it in multiple ways. Okay, reduce, but basically reduce is
No,
used
I just want to understand which is better.
like instead of for reduce map. This all ways for each. Which one is better? You are asking.
No, now you have these many options. So in that,
Yes.
what will you consider? That's the question which I'm having.
Okay. Another function better limits. Uh, let's see. It depends on the use case. We can say like if something were
Yeah,
used
that's
for
what. For this use case,
acha, with
for
this
this use case,
this use case for off is better, I believe. In case of for off, the better way we are writing that also, and like it iterates over the functions and not needed the index. No, we need the index also in this scenario. So I can go with for in that case, as it will be straightforward and just looking good. Need the index also and no need to increment and all those things. So internally it will straightforward, right?
okay. Don't you think for each will be a better option for here in this scenario?
Reduce could be a better option. I
Yeah,
believe.
definitely reduce is also an option.
Uh,
Amongst the available thing, reduce and for each will be better.
Reduce, I believe, would be better options. Could have used because we can simply split it by the blank and write a for each on top of it also and check the letter and if it is available increment or not. So that is also better. Reduce is also better. Yes.
Okay. Hmm. In in the TypeScript, can you tell me what are the advantages of using TypeScript?
Yeah. So it is nothing but a superset of JavaScript, right? So whatever we have in the
Hmm.
JavaScript, same thing we have. But extra thing is like type checking we have introduced, like in JavaScript, let a we don't define it is a variable. Is data type is determined by whatever we are assigning it here. But that kind of
Hmm.
stick checking is not possible. We can assign 5 again. We can assign my name, something else. But in TypeScript, we can assign data type also like number, so that type safety is there. Okay, so and lots of class based approach we can write very easily. Better structuring we can do, object oriented features we can say uh, like writing class and extending it. This all was really challenging in earlier days. So better reliability, modularity perspective also TypeScript is better. So these are the few things I just mentioned.
Okay.
At the end we need type, but browser does not understand TypeScript. Okay, it understands JavaScript only. We need a TypeScript compiler that will compile the TypeScript to the browser understandable JavaScript, and browser will easily handle that.
Okay. What is the use of d.ts file?
D.ts, index.d.ts.
Yes. Anything. I'm just giving you the last extension.
Acha, the .d.ts file. That is the JavaScript, I think, module that TypeScript that creates that browser understandable file, the JavaScript code actually. We call the declaration files also. This one, the like that describes the how the library shape is. The like we are using recently a Foxil library to work with the PDF editors and other things. So that defines that. That
Okay.
describes the existing JavaScript code actually. Okay,
Okay.
the global
Can you tell
variables.
me what is the use case of pick and omit?
Pick and omit in JavaScript.
Yeah. And no, with respect to TypeScript.
Acha, pick and omit in TypeScript. Pick I used once. Pick and omit in TypeScript. So let's say, let's, so for example, if you have some omit, I'm not sure what purpose we used. Peak, I have used recently, not recently. So let's say, can I write something here? Let me try to explain something. So let's say I have an object, okay? I have an object,
Okay.
some person or something is there that is having name, age, or some address I have. And now you can give a type definition to it, like type person summary or something like that. You can write pick, then you can give the type person, name, or age. Okay, so that is just kind of you are modifying it from their name and age from that. Okay, you are just only want to work with the name and age, not requiring other things, just picking the specific things what I need. Am I correct?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have done it in
Yeah.
Angular once. And omit also used for the similar person only. Let's say intentionally pick is also doing omitting, but you can use omit also address. That time also the same thing will happen. Name and age will be collected in the person without address, for example, another model you are picking up. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you worked with any custom directives?
Yeah, custom directives in Angular, right? So yes, like host binding, we have like some paragraph color changes and other things. Host listeners most probably at the rate meta tag we need to give to work with that host binding and all those things.
Okay. How about pipes? Have you worked with
Yeah.
pipes?
Extensively, I worked with lots of pipes. Pipes that are custom pipes. Like there is definitely one is default pipes are there. We can use pipe or pipe chaining, like date pipe. You can chain pipe also date pipe with uppercase. So those things we can use. Okay. Or we have async pipe also. Like once any observable is returning some data, you just every 2 seconds it is transferring the data, multiple data over the time. So you just write like pipe symbol and async. So async pipe also works. Another good thing I have used in pipe is that writing lots of custom pipes also there. We need to that pipe transform interface we need to first implement, and then there is a transform method is there. First we need to at the rate pipe metadata we need to write on top of the class to let it know that it is a pipe I'm going to use. Then in the transform method we write the logic transformation logic that we want. Okay. One good thing is we can make a pipe pure pipe or impure pipe. By default, it is pure. We can make pure equal to false also. That time, what will happen is that it will generally what happens. Let's say you are writing a pipe like this. Name is some attribute with some uppercase, let's say. So once name is changed, this pipe, whatever the parameters passed to this pipe, those things will be triggered, right? But let's say some array,
Mhm.
we are adding some value or object, we are adding one value or removing one value. That time Angular change detections don't consider it as a change. We need to write
Okay.
our change detections in the ng do check place. So that time this custom pipe helps a lot. Like I want anything in the change into the page, be it array push or some object deletions or something. So that time this custom pipe helps a lot.
Okay. That's it. That should be it from my end, Arghya.
Yeah,
We're running out of time as well.
yeah.
Yeah. That's it from my end. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, it was nice knowledge sharing session, Shashank. I really liked it, the way we interacted and all. Just one questions, like it's not about selection and rejections, but I keep on improving each and every time I interact with someone else. So I want your positive feedback, like what all honest feedback I want, like what all things I have good at and what all things I should, make it better. That will really help me as a person and as a technical aspect also. If you just highlight one
Sure.
thing.
What I'll do is I'll be giving the feedback to Ashwini.
Yeah.
So definitely he'll communicate to you regarding this.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Okay then.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Have a
Thank you.
great day ahead, Sasank. Yeah.
Yeah. You too. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye. কোনো কিছু বাদ দেওয়া হয়নি কেন বলতো আর রিয়াক্ট কাজও আছে আর অ্যাঙ্গুলার জেএস এর কাজ দেবে অ্যাঙ্গুলার জেএস কাজ করে তো সব ভুলে যাবো বাট আমার আমি স্যাটিসফাইড মানে অ্যাঙ্গুলারে যেগুলো পড়ে এসেছিলাম ঠিকঠাক করে বলেছি আর